I remember the silence in the observation chamber when her containment field dropped. Others gasped in wonder when their companions emerged, soft-limbed telepaths, glowing aquatic philosophers, plant-based life forms that communicated through scent. Some even purred. Zaira did not. She stepped forward like a weapon given legs. Tall, armored skin shimmering like obsidian glass. Eyes split vertically, burning molten gold. Her presence triggered automated threat alarms until the system recalibrated itself in panic. Even restrained, she radiated violence, not uncontrolled, but precise. Calculated. The translator struggled to stabilize as she spoke. "So," she said calmly, "this is the human they have given me. Not assigned, not partnered. Given." I swallowed. "I'm Elias. Elias Carter." Her gaze dissected me. Heart rate, posture, micro-expressions. She tilted her head, a predator's curiosity sharpening. "You're small," she observed. "Soft. You would not survive one cycle on my world." "Yeah," I replied. "I hear that a lot." That earned me a flicker of interest. The council overseers exchanged uneasy glances. I caught fragments of their whispers through my earpiece. Caraxis royalty should not be here. Her aggression index alone. If she loses control, she didn't. That was the worst part. Zaira was perfectly calm. Middle, living with a living weapon. Our habitat module was reinforced triple the standard thickness. Hers wasn't decorated. It was fortified. She studied everything: ship schematics, galactic law, human history, especially our wars. When she learned we had invented nuclear weapons before achieving unified governance, she laughed. A sharp, delighted sound. "You are unfinished," she said, "but ambitious. I like that." She sparred daily against holograms rated well above civilian limits. She requested heavier gravity, stronger opponents. When denied, she adapted, inventing new combat forms using the walls, the ceiling, the air itself. I was supposed to monitor her. Instead, I became her audience. One night, during a simulated boarding defense drill, a power fluctuation shut down safety protocols. The holograms became solid. Lethal. Alarms screamed. Before security could reach us, one of the constructs lunged straight at me. I froze. Zaira did not. She moved faster than the cameras could track. A blur of black and gold. She tore the construct apart with bare hands, shielding me with her body as debris flew. When it was over, she stood between me and the threat, breathing steady. "You should not stand so close to danger," she said. "You are the danger," I replied weakly. She turned to me slowly. "Yes," she said. "And so are you, Elias Carter. You simply haven't accepted it yet." That was the first time she used my full name. A princess without a throne. Weeks passed. Something changed. She stopped calling me human and started calling me Elias. I learned she wasn't sent here as an honor. She was sent away. On Caraxis, succession was decided through dominance trials, ritualized wars between royal heirs. Zaira had won every one. Too decisively. The council feared what would happen when she ruled. So they labeled her unstable, stripped her claim, and exiled her under the guise of diplomacy. A princess without a throne. One night, as Proxima's red light spilled through the viewport, she finally spoke of it. "They fear me," she said. "Not because I am cruel, but because I do not hesitate." I leaned against the railing. "That doesn't make you a monster." She looked at me sharply. "It does to them." Silence stretched. Then she asked something no one else ever had. "Why do you not fear me?" I thought about it. "Because you choose not to hurt me," I said. "And that choice matters." Her eyes softened, just slightly. The crisis. The attack came without warning. A rogue coalition, former war species excluded from the exchange, hijacked the station. Systems failed. Gravity fluctuated. Screams echoed through comm channels. The council panicked. Security forces were overwhelmed in minutes. I was thrown against a wall as the habitat shook. The door to our modules sealed, then buckled. Zyra stood calmly, stretching her hands. "They have made a mistake," she said. I grabbed her arm. "Zyra, wait. If you unleash—" "They already know what I am," she replied. "What they do not know is who I choose to be." The door exploded inward. She moved. Not in rage. Not in bloodlust. In purpose. She dismantled the invaders with terrifying efficiency, disarming, incapacitating, killing only when necessary. She coordinated evacuation routes, used enemy weapons against them, sealed breaches with her own body when shields failed. At one point, a plasma round tore through her side. She didn't slow. When it was over, the station was saved. And everyone was staring at her like she was still the threat. Ending. Choosing each other. The council convened in emergency session. Zyra stood before them, wounded but unbowed. I stood beside her, hands shaking, heart pounding. They spoke of risk, of containment, of returning her to exile, this time permanent. "She is too dangerous," one counselor said. "Her presence destabilizes the balance." I stepped forward before I could stop myself. "She just saved your lives," I said. "All of them." "She could have destroyed the station," another replied. "She chose not to." "That's the point," I snapped. "Power doesn't make someone dangerous. Refusing responsibility does." The chamber fell silent. Zyra turned to me, eyes searching my face. "You would bind your fate to mine?" she asked quietly. "Even knowing what I am?" I met her gaze. "They got calm companions," I said. "I got the most dangerous alien princess. And she chose restraint. That matters more than anything." The council deliberated for hours. In the end, they made a compromise. Zyra would not return to Caraxes, nor would she be imprisoned. She would remain under human jurisdiction, as my partner, as my equal. When the chamber cleared, she exhaled slowly, like someone setting down a weight they'd carried too long. "You have changed my future," she said. "You saved mine first," I replied. She smiled then, not sharp, not predatory. Real. The galaxy would whisper about us for generations. A human and an exiled war princess. A bond forged not in fear, but in choice. They thought I was the unlucky one. They were wrong. Because the most dangerous thing in the universe is a weapon that decides to protect instead of destroy. And she chose me. The sky above the shattered capital burned with fading auroras as the last enemy vessels folded out of existence. Silence followed, heavy, unreal, broken only by the hum of damaged towers and the distant crackle of fires finally dying. I stood at the center of it all, armor cracked, hands trembling, wondering how a single human had survived a war meant for gods. Then she stepped beside me. The alien princess, once feared, once called a living weapon, lowered her crown and placed it gently into the scorched earth. The act sent a ripple through every surviving soldier watching from the ruins. Royals did not kneel. Legends did not bow. Yet she did, not to an empire but to a choice. "I was created to rule through fear," she said, her voice echoing across the broken plaza. "But this human taught me something my people forgot. Power, without restraint, destroys itself." She turned to me, eyes no longer glowing with lethal energy, but something far more dangerous to the old order: resolve. I choose a future where strength protects, not dominates. The fleets of a dozen species powered down their weapons. Ancient enemies stood shoulder to shoulder, unsure whether they were witnessing the end of an era or the birth of one. Somewhere in the stars, histories were rewriting themselves. As dawn finally crept over the horizon, light spilled across a world that had almost been erased. Survivors emerged from shelters. Children, human and alien alike, looked up at the sky not in fear, but wonder. I didn't become a king. I didn't claim a throne. I didn't conquer a galaxy. I simply walked forward with the most dangerous alien princess at my side, knowing that the universe would never be the same again. Because they got calm companions. And I got the one being powerful enough to change everything.